are you doing? My name is Lindsay and I am with Perfectly Pastry. Who's Perfectly Pastry? We are a local bakery in Waterloo, Illinois. How are you doing today? If you're watching me live, drop a heart. Let me know you caught me live. If you're on replay, use hashtag replay. And if this is the first time you've ever caught me live, use the one. Let me know. Hey girl, it's the first time I've ever caught you live. I appreciate you hopping on. How is everybody doing today? How was your holiday? I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. We enjoyed our holiday weekend. It's a little different for us because we, up until this most recent Christmas, we just don't have family around us. And my in-laws recently relocated to Florida, so it was nice because this year they were here. And so we did Christmas at our house, or Christmas Eve at our house, and then we went over there for Christmas dinner and stuff like that after, like we did the Christmas thing with the kids, and so that was really enjoyable. Another thing that we did, of course, I talked to all of my family, like we got on FaceTime, we talked to my family, we talked to my husband's family, got to say hi to everybody. And we did this really cool thing with my nieces. We bought Disney Codenames. So if you've never played Codenames, the original Codenames, we played it all summer long. We had such a blast with Codenames. You like set up the board and there's like a buzzword that you can't get people to guess, and you break up into two teams, and each team has a code master, I think, or a spy master or something like that. And you have to give hints, and you have to like try to connect your words. And your hint is one word, and it can't be part of the words that you're trying to get people to guess, and like a number. So if it was an animal, like maybe I wanted them to say cat and dog, and there were only two animals on the board, and say animal two. So they got two guesses. They know there's two cards that are related to this word. We had so much fun with it. We're huge Disney fans. I've said that several times before. My nieces, they come to Florida. We take them to Disney. Like they're big Disney fans. And so we bought Disney Codenames, and I was like, they're like, oh, we're not going to get to play with it until we come down this summer. And I was like, no, we should FaceTime and play it. So, I don't know. I think it was Friday. We got the girls on FaceTime. And so me and my kiddos and then my nieces, we all played Codenames on FaceTime. So we like set up my laptop. We had the like camera face down so they could see the board. They like took a picture of like their card. Like it was a lot of fun. We played like 4, 5, 6 rounds on FaceTime. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot easier to play Disney Codenames because one side has pictures, one side has words. We did the pictures because I have a almost 6-year-old that was trying to play, and she obviously can't read right now. And so it's easier for her to visually see what's going on with the cards. And so that was fun because then she got to participate, and she really didn't get to participate this summer. So if you're looking for a fun kids game, I highly suggest you get Disney Codenames. Like I said, my almost 6-year-old was able to play it with us, and we had a lot of fun playing that. We played some board games. We didn't do any, like, a lot of times I'll like do like a lot of fun Christmas games and stuff like that. But this year we got a bunch of board games for Christmas, and my sister-in-law got a bunch of board games for Christmas. So we sat around playing the board games. My youngest got Pop the Pig, and so that one was real easy for all of us to play. And then my middle got Beat the Parents, which is like, it's kids against parents, and you have to like put up a wager, right? So it was like, if the kids won, and by the way, the kids' questions are way easier than the adult questions, which I thought was not fair, but whatever. I'm not about like making it easy for my kids. And so I was like, what the heck? That's not fair. Give them the same questions as we get, or give us the same questions they get, whatever. Anyways, so the wager was my husband and I would do the chores, my kids' chores for 2 weeks if they won. And if we won, they have to give us a half-hour massage every single night for 2 weeks. We won. Not because of me. Thank goodness my husband was with us, because I would not have won. There's like challenges in there, and it was like group challenges, and you had to do like the most push-ups, and you had to like slide cards across the table. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We won. The adults did, thank goodness, because I did not want to have to do my kids' chores at all. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. You should drop in the comments. Let me know, did you guys play any games? What is your favorite game to play at Christmas? Like my husband's family doesn't play games at Christmas, which I find really weird because my family always plays card games. On my dad's side and my mom's side, we always play board games. And so I find it so funny that his family doesn't play games. And so it's kind of nice his mom and his sister plays games with us. So we had a lot of fun. I wanted to let you guys know there are 2 new products in the shop. So we rolled out a new keto cherry cheesecake. So you guys have been asking us to try to work on some more flavors for our cheesecakes. We're trying to do that without adding a bunch of carbs. And so we have been working on recipes for that. And we did roll out the cherry keto cheesecake along with we have pumpkin or pecan pie this week in the shop. So if you want yourself a slice of pie, step on in. We've got pecan pie. All right. So I always do this at the end of every year. I talk about the books that I read for the year and talk about the books that I want to read for 2022. As you guys know, I am a huge reader. My mom loves to read. I read about one business book a month because that's just who I am and that's just what I do. I try to read for at least 20 minutes a day on whatever. So just so you know that these books are going to be, a lot of the books are business books that I read in 2021. I'm looking for more self-development books in 2022. So I have a new list that I'm going to talk about, and they're more self-development. They may be your jam. They might not be your jam. That's totally fine. I just want to share with you what we're doing. I have put links in the description so that you can find them if you're interested in finding the books. They do go to Amazon. They are affiliate links, just so you know. So that means if you click on them and you purchase it, we may make a small commission off of that. You don't have to use our links. I don't care. Google search it. If you can get it on Kindle, get it on Kindle. If you can get it from the library, some of it you can get from the library. Some of them I have found out you can't get from my local library at least. So I'm going to have to buy a few of them, but that's okay. I don't mind. The other really exciting news. So you may know that we wrote a book. We wrote a book on how to successfully launch your bakery business. It's especially if you don't have a storefront. We go through everything we did before we had the storefront, how we advertised, how we got started, just lots and lots of information. And I just dumped as much information as I could in there so that people could do the same things that we did, or at least get inspired to be like, okay, I can't quite do it that way, but I can do it this way, right? So we officially published that on Amazon this week. So I'm really excited about that. Not that you have to buy it, because I know not all of you guys are opening bakery businesses, right? But if you want to check out the book, you can go click on the link and go check it out on Amazon. I'm really, really proud of that. As a matter of fact, I haven't even told my mom and my sister this one. I've only talked to my husband about it. I'm currently writing another one. I am writing another one about marketing in your bakery business. So those of you who have asked or talked to me, you know, I do not have a marketing degree. I am not saying I have a marketing degree. What I have is knowledge on what we did in our bakery business that worked. I am a huge proponent of going, all right, there's nothing out there on the internet about what to do for your bakery. How are we going to advertise? You know, our budget is like this, which honestly, we don't work with large marketing budgets. So I'm like, what can we do? I don't want to pay for Facebook ads. I really want a way to connect with our customers and things like that. I want to get to know everybody. How can I do this in the marketing aspect? So I started looking at other industries. Okay. And trying to figure out how can I apply that to our bakery business? And sometimes I have really off the wall ideas and people are like, oh, okay, yeah, that fell flat. Sometimes I have really off the wall ideas and people are like, oh my gosh, I loved that. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing that. That's why I do it. So I am writing a book about what I did, what we did, how we come up with our ideas, where we look for inspiration, because honestly, it's all about thinking outside the box, seeing something and be like, oh, that was cool. I could do that. Who says I can't do that for my bakery business? I know others don't, but that doesn't mean I can't, right? Which actually worked out really, really well for me because I have been doing that for quite some time. And then I read a book this past year called Get Different by Mike Michalowicz. You have probably heard me talk about Mike Michalowicz. I've read Profit First. I have read Clockwork, Run Your Business to Run Itself. I don't know. That's actually one of the books I'm going to talk about. And then Get Different, which is one that I'm going to talk about as well. And Get Different is all about, I don't know if you've heard the phrase guerrilla marketing, which is thinking outside the box. Okay. It's all about thinking about outside the box, doing it differently, standing out. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that flops. But Get Different, totally hit home for me because I was I knew I wasn't crazy doing some of these ideas. I knew that other people had to be as crazy as I was, right? So that really helps solidify, girl, you're doing it okay. You don't have to do it like everybody else, which is been our mantra. If something seems well, other people don't do it, that doesn't mean we can't do it. It just means that not everybody understands what we're doing, right? All right, so let's talk about the 5 books I read this year. Like I said, they're going to be really, really business related. And then I'll tell you guys about the 5 books I'm planning on reading for 2022. Okay. So the first three, like I can't figure out what order to rank them in. So please don't think that this is the order. They're really different books and I just loved them. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Amazing. As a matter of fact, I've told you guys before, like I work for a travel agency as well, for a healthcare travel agency. And that was actually the book I pitched to the team. And that was the book that the team read. I read it before the team read it. But I was like, we've got to read this book. It's a book my husband has been telling me to read for years, told me I would love it. And I just like didn't read it. And I am sorry I didn't. It was really good. So Never Split the Difference. Amazing, amazing book. It's about, I don't remember if he was FBI or CIA, ex like hostage negotiator and like what they use and how he turned that into a business and how he applies that to his job, his business and negotiating on all those things. It is really, really interesting. Get Different by Mike Michalowicz. I told you, like, I'm totally an outside the box thinker. That book just really hit home with me. If you're going to get any Mike Michalowicz book, I'm going to tell you, listen to it on audio. His books are great. Like he makes me laugh when I read them. Don't get me wrong, but he is really, really funny and he adds a lot in that is not in the book when you listen to the audio version. So I highly, highly suggest the audio versions. The next one is by Amanda Frances. By the way, you guys, you're going to like notice a trend with these books. I'm so sorry. Rich AF, more money than you know what to do with it. So AF, you know what that stands for. I don't want to say it out here on Facebook. I'll probably get in trouble for that. So by Amanda Frances, it's just learning to step in and accept being able to have money, hold money, make money, and knowing that it's okay to do those things and knowing how to use it for good and things like that. So I really love Amanda Frances. And so she put out a book and we read it because I love her. I listened to her podcast. Clockwork, Design Your Business to Run Itself, another Mike Michalowicz book. I actually read that one. It's the only one that I read of his, and I highly suggest that you listen to him on audio versus reading them. Still make me laugh. We really needed this book. We read it in the very beginning of the year, and then right after we started reading it, my mom got the opportunity to go to Ireland. So you guys who have been following us know that she took like 21 days or 28 days or some crazy amount of time in Ireland going on her once in a lifetime trip that she and her sister have been talking about for years. And they had a blast. But as a business, we had to set ourselves up so that our prime employee who bakes could go on this vacation and we could still run our business without like falling apart without her. So this book really, really helped us start putting systems and things into place. A lot of those systems are use a video, create a video on how to do it. And then when you hand that over, if it needs to be redone, you have the next person do it so that they're always learning, always teaching. As a matter of fact, again, that's something that I carried over into the healthcare travel agency that I work for. We started creating a bunch of videos to help with processes and stuff because you can read something, but visually seeing it is so much easier. We make Loom videos all the time, showing each other how to do things, sharing information, all of that stuff. And Loom gives you so many like 5-minute free videos. And if I need to like put them together, I just download them and put them into iMovie and make one long video. So I highly suggest Loom. It's not in the description. I didn't even think about it, but Loom, Loom. I love Loom. So yeah, we made all these kinds of videos and that allowed us to run the bakery while my mom was out because my sister and I aren't bakers. We needed to know what we were looking for and what we were doing. And we had these videos in place. The last one was a really, really good book. But not one of my favorites. It was really redundant. Like the first half of the book, like, oh, okay, I got the concept. The second half of the book, I was just like, all right, we're just now saying the same thing over and over again. But it was a great book. I have initiated some of the things that I learned in there. It's called Never Lose a Customer Again. It was really, really great. If you have a business, I highly suggest that you read it so that you understand how to build better customer service and things like that. So great, great book. So those are the 5 books that I read in 2021 that I highly suggest that you read. The 5 books that I plan on reading this year, that's what we're going to talk about next. I don't know a whole lot about these books. I have heard them mentioned at various times through various media and things like that. Sometimes it's people I follow. Sometimes I hear it in passing from other people. Sometimes I see it on TikTok. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I see them on Pinterest. So these are just books that I'm like, all right, these are the books that I want to read. So this next upcoming year, I kind of have a theme and it's like developing myself, right? Like I want to grow more confidence in myself and my abilities and know my self-worth. That is what I am working on. It's something I've started in the past and I've really, really learned this concept through owning a business, just learning to know my strengths, know my weaknesses, and know that I am good enough with both of those. learning some of the qualities that I actually have. Like when I first started doing a lot of this, it'd be like, well, I can't start a business. I'm not good at anything. Like I only know how to do these things. Like I'm not good enough for that. And I have completely changed that verbiage. I understand what I bring to the table. I understand what I know. I understand what I don't know, but I understand that I have a lot of great qualities about me that, some people need. They need them, whether it's in their business or in their friendships or in relationships. Like I am learning that kind of stuff. I'm also learning to recognize the qualities that I enjoy in other people, the qualities that I don't enjoy in other people, and learning that it's not my place to change things. It's not my place. I've also been learning to put up boundaries a little bit better. So it's just some like self-development stuff that I have really been working on, and that I plan to continue working on in 2022. Sorry, you guys. I know this is totally not business or bakery related, but sometimes I do that thing. It's me. I can't help it. Okay. So here are the 5 books that I'm planning on reading. The Alchemist, which I actually started last night. I have no idea how this book is going to go. I think it's the only fiction book in here. I'm pretty positive it's the only fiction. It is the only fiction book now that I'm looking at my list. So I'm really excited about that. It's been a really long time since I've read a fiction book. It's not the typical fiction book that I read. I really like historical romance. That's my like go-to fiction book. But The Alchemist is what I'm currently reading. I'm like a chapter or 2 in, so I'm not very far. So I'm excited to read that because I've seen that on lots and lots of things over the years. Again, so please don't be mad at me because these guys have cuss words in them. Obviously, it's like a theme with me in my books. So the next one is Get Rich, Lucky, and then I'll just do B. Okay. Amanda Francis has talked about this book. I've actually heard a couple of other people talk about that. And so I'm really excited to read that. It's so funny because like we're talking about as a team, what are we going to read? And I pitched this book to the team, and this might be the book that we actually read for the team for the travel agency that I'm working for. So I don't know, we'll see, but I know I'm personally going to read it. The next one is You Deserve This, S. I think I actually wrote the word out in the description, so I'm very sorry about that. I hope that Facebook doesn't ban me for that. I got to take a drink. So that's the next one. I had to put it on reserve at the library. It wasn't there. Start With Why. That's the next book I want to try, read. It's called Start With Why. I've gotten that one recommended to me several times. And then The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. Okay. That's the last book on my list. So these 5 books I will absolutely read over the year. Now I'll probably read a lot of other books to go with it, but these are the 5 that I've been like really looking forward to reading for 2022. Knowing me, I'll probably read them all back to back and have them done probably by like March. So I'm gonna have to figure out something else to read for the rest of the year, but that's okay. Anyway, so I would love if you guys wanted to read some of them and like let me know your thoughts about them. If you've read some of the other books that I've read, I am a total nerd and I love talking about books. I love comparing books. I love getting ideas about books. Like huge book nerd. When I say book nerd, I mean book nerd. Like, I mean, like, let me just write a paper for you about this book. My mom's like, I don't want to read a paper. You are 30 years old. I don't need you to write me a paper and explain things to me. Like, we can just have a conversation. I'm like, but nobody ever wants to talk about the books with me. Yeah, it was my thing. I should have totally, like, I don't know, taught lit or something like that. Like, I love writing literature reviews. Anyways, total side note on me. All right, you guys, I'm going to hop off of here. I am so excited for the new year. I'm so thankful for all of you guys who have been following us for the past several years. If you just joined us, like, thank you. Like, I greatly appreciate it. My mom greatly appreciates it. My sister greatly appreciates it. We appreciate all of you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there. And then I will see you guys again next week. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye.